It's Matt here from Don't Be a Hero podcast. Welcome to another bonus episode, but this is a bonus episode review, kind of a special one as well. New little thing that me and Forrest are doing. We're doing an opportunity to sort of review movies just outside of the MCU, outside of kind of like pop culture superhero-ness, and we are working with Strike Media, who are bringing some awesome titles to us to review. And so thank you for Strike Media for bringing towards us this movie, which is called Portraits of Dangerous Women. This is a movie that was produced by Bulldog Film Distribution. It's released this week, so on the 11th of October 2024. It was released in UK cinemas. I'll just go straight in with a little summary for you. So Portraits of Dangerous Women, it is a wry tale in the English countryside. It's full of humour, fizzing characters, and a sense of anarchy and life. The lives of three strangers collide in a bizarre road accident. After the initial turmoil, they decide to handle the aftermath without involving the police. The unlikely trio forge unusual alliances, and their pasts unravel, grow ever closer, unexpectedly discovering a deep sense of kinship. Whoa! That is quite the summary there. I'm going to go straight in with the positives, and then we'll kind of go into kind of the gripes as we go forward. But I thoroughly enjoyed the performances in this movie. It had a lot of scope with character, a lot of scope with just nuances within characters as well. There wasn't much plot, and when I say there wasn't much plot, the inciting incident was the fact that there was this dog that got run over, not by one car but by two, and then it was about finding out how people kind of cover that up, and how we kind of like they work together as a trio to sort of bring this dog back to its owner. However, the plot was a bit convoluted, and the thing with me is that the plot didn't really have much of an opportunity of consequence. There was no real kind of stakes. We got to see some lovely performances, and there were some lovely scenes. There was something about it for me that was quite theatrical in a sense. I can certainly see this being put on stage somehow, but in terms of like the way that it's kind of toned, it's very quintessentially British, but also it's got those European kind of vibes to it as well. It's quirky, I think that's kind of what I mean by it. It's quite quirky. It is directed by Pascal Bergman, who's a Swiss director, and lived in London for a little bit as well, apparently. And I sort of found it, quite endearing as a kind of movie for the English kind of culture. At the countryside, it's very bright. There's lots of things going on, but the cast consists of a huge ensemble cast, and I think that's for the better and for the worse as well, because we had loads of different plots playing out with very little stakes that never really kind of culminated at all towards the end. But we had some brilliant actors in there. So we had Yasmin Monet Prince, which is from Then You Run, Tara Fitzgerald, which you might have known from Brassed Off, Game of Thrones, Annette Badland from Ted Lasso, Midsomer Murders, Mark Lewis-Jones, which is famously in Chernobyl, which is a fantastic series, and also Jeannie Spark and Sheila Reid, who's more famously been in Benidorm as well. There's just been some, I think from my perspective, there were some really lovely kind of performances within there. There was one performance in the scene where there was outside a little van that didn't have a license for alcohol, but they were drinking this kind of whiskey or gin, or I think it was Turkish gin or something like that. And they were just getting drunk, and there was something really sweet and quaint about it. However, as nice as these scenes were, and as nice as well shot they were as well, it didn't really go anywhere. It felt like to me that all of these interconnected stories with the event of this dog that passed away, we do eventually meet the owner of the dog at the end. However, how we get there probably could have been intertwined a little bit more with the characters and with the stakes. But we sort of follow the stories of Tina, who is this overqualified caretaker, who's the one that's from Game of Thrones. Steph is the unhappy teacher. Steph is kind of in a unhappy relationship and currently going through a split, and then meets this pet owner and kind of has a fling with. Nothing really kind of progresses with her other than that moment. She has her dad, which is John, which is played by Mark Lewis Jones, who's also in the passenger seat in the first scene with Steph when they're kind of driving down. They run over the dog. Run over the car. That would be impressive, wouldn't it? Run over the dog. And then that kind of goes forward with the kind of plot. And then they do have some really nice scenes. There's some really nice scenes between Steph and Tina in the school. They get to learn a little about each other as well. Tina is a new kind of overqualified caretaker, so somebody that's doing the job because she in her past got into some money trouble, a bit of money laundering as well. Cheeky Tina doing some money laundering, and honestly that's kind of how it kind of rolls. We do see just some nice lovely little scenes with Ashley, who claims to be the dog owner in the beginning of the movie, and comes across really angry and distraught. And then also the explanation that she claims to be the dog owner doesn't, for me, get resolved at all. There's no real reason why that happens. We kind of move very quickly into what she does within her kind of job. So she's an artist, which then coincidentally is John's role as well as an art owner, and he owns an art shop. And they kind of have lovely scenes together between John and Ashley. And Ashley finds these pictures and has these kind of picture portraits of quite striking images of women. There was one woman like holding a gun against the kind of aiming range, and it looked like Steph. And they used that within the scene as kind of, oh look, Dad, look, John, this looks like your daughter, kind of thing. And that kind of is it. We have a brilliant bit with who's the butler in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air's in it as well. A name has just escaped me. But he sells his art to Ashley, and her kind of goal is to have her own exhibition at some point in her kind of life. That's kind of her objective, which we do get to see at the end, which is quite nice. But again, just all these really human conversations with very little stakes. So when it comes to a movie in terms of plot and story, doesn't really have any consequence or nothing really that's going to grip you. But what you're watching is you're going, yeah, nice, really lovely performances. It's natural. It comes across wholesome. And I think setting it within the countryside is a really good kind of scope for it. But yeah, if you're looking for an easy 90 minutes viewing for a movie, I'd go ahead and watch this. It's quirky, it's not overly funny, and it's not overly dramatic. I think there could have been opportunities to play into the comedy a little bit more. I thought Steph was really quirky, and I thought maybe we could have seen a little bit more of that going in to her moment in the movie. But hey, there we go. Portraits of Dangerous Women. I'm going to give this movie 3 out of 5, dear listener. Do go and check it out. It is out in the cinemas right now. You might be able to watch it in any selected cinemas that might be near you. Check your Curzons, check your independent cinemas, wherever you are. This might be showing. Give it a go. If you're looking for a cute 90-minute movie, boom, it's in there. Awesome. All right. Well, that's it. That's our quick review of Portraits of Dangerous Women. Thank you for watching, dear listener. I will check you out next time.